Welcome to the session number 14 of Patanjali Meditation 101. As has been our practice, we will devote first few minutes on a brief meditation practice, about say 10 to 12 minutes. Let us take the appropriate posture, Sukhasana or Siddhasana, as you are comfortable, and shake away any kind of stiffness from major joints, the shoulder, the neck joint, the lower back, etc. Just feel good. Okay. We will devote first couple of minutes on deep breathing. Each breathing cycle with 4 phases. Let's begin with the first one. Deep breathe out. Hold the breath out. Breathe in. Hold the breath within. Breathe out. Breathe in. 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 One more last cycle. Breathe out. Breathe in. Now we are in step 3. about to instruct our mind for the later steps of meditation. We would like to our mind to disconnect from the external world, and then eventually we want it to calm down so that in our inner world also there is absolute nothing. And in these intervening moments, our breathing has been transferred to the body's automated mechanism, because we want to become unconcerned about our body, our breathing, and even about our mind. Let's recite that code word 5 times together. After we focus our mind between the two eyebrows, intending to make it settle down, and then observe in our forehead an expanse of sky and walk into its imaginary cave is there. And at that stage, if it is absolute quiet, fine. If a thought wave is about to enter, we remind our mind again with that code word. Let's recite it 5 times. Oh. 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 Oh, we can gradually open our eyes. That was a very short meditation at the start of the session. Let me open out my slides. With reference to the ebook in the periphery of energy, last week we had discussed the concept of absolute happiness. We noticed that human life is uniquely different from all other species. Any other species, there is a line of saturation, say a dog, a cat, or a cow, or a horse, up to which that particular animal, member of that species, can upgrade its level of happiness. Good food, good shelter, and a mate, and a few more things one could conceive. There is nothing more we can do to raise the level of happiness for an animal's life. But human beings are uniquely different from all these millions and billions of species. We are unique in many aspects, and this is also a very important aspect, that we don't have a saturation line. Every human being intends to upgrade his level of happiness. Even the richest man, powerful man, whatever is the status of a human being, if you ask him or her, there is a sense of vacuum within. Sometimes we don't even know how to fill in that vacuum, but everybody is going after something in the hope that that sense of vacuum will disappear. But it doesn't go away. We have a new object of pleasure, vacuum, sense of vacuum appears somewhere within us, and we seek out for a new source of pleasure, new objects of pleasures. So it is an unending exercise. But then we argued last week that the design of the universe is not like that. If there is a universal requirement, universal need, such as that of food and water and air, these are universally needed for our survival, then there is a mechanism to fulfill those needs. Same manner, if all human beings have that sense of vacuum, there must be a mechanism to fill in. There must be a method to reach out to that point, and that point we call as absolute happiness. So absolute happiness will have an element of universality, objectivity, because we know it, sensual pleasures are very subjective in nature. But the absolute happiness we are seeking, it doesn't come to us through body or through mind. It comes to us direct, to me, my soul, my consciousness, my spirit. But then the necessary condition is that I disconnect from my body and mind. Noticed in the later part of this course, for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and remaining 2 more weeks, we are emphasizing the things that can happen to us when we are in disconnect from mind. So that's why Patanjali meditation, we have been saying it many times, is something beyond mindfulness. In mindfulness, my mind is focused on something. It may be a dynamic event like breathing, or it might be a static picture, whatever it is. But in Patanjali meditation, we are We intend to cross even those steps and come to a point what we call nothingness, absolute nothingness. That will be like, it's not a very good term, but we have called it mindlessness. As if my soul is disconnect from the very first basic instrument of mind. And you know it, like you drive a car, you reach your destination, you would like to get out of the car to meet somebody, but before that, you must bring your car to a stationary position. If the car is moving, you cannot disconnect from the car. Similarly, if my mind is functioning, I cannot disconnect from my mind. That is why there is so much of emphasis on nothingness in mind. Patanjali is called Chittavetti Niyodha. It's difficult, but as long as we know that wherever we are in our meditation practice, we have tried to understand what are the possibilities there. Let us remain there and hope for one more jump. Always be open minded in your practice of Patanjali meditation. Don't take any step as the final step. Even if you like it, even if you enjoy those moments, yet I will suggest forward to a next step. That may come some many days later, many weeks later, many months later, whatever it is. You are blessed with a particular step, particular level of calmness in your mind, but don't take that as your final destination. There will be further locations, situations. Mind is like a deep ocean. There is further depth to be covered. There is nothing like final destination. But the good thing is, wherever you are gaining benefits out of that. One more thing is relevant in the case of happiness. We have described the lack of subjectivity there as the happiness pertain to our innermost dimensions. It is more universal. And there is another important thing. If you are in joyous, in happy state, then time seems to fly fast. Indeed, we have always talked about sound sleep, deep sleep also. Deep sleep is also very, very positive state, though we are lost. But one thing is there, when we come out of deep sleep, we have no sense of time. We must look at the clock or some outside event to be able to know, gain that sense of time. And that will be so whether it was deep sleep of 5 minutes or 1 hour or 5 hours or 15 hours, whatever it is. You will not have a sense of time, how long you were in sleep, as if the time gets frozen. Also, a good indicator in your Patanjali meditation. Sometimes this might be happening to some of you. You rise from meditation, you didn't use an alarm or any such thing. It was a weekend, morning or evening, and you just thought, let me be in meditation as long as I can be. You are just as a beginner, you are practicing, you are testing yourself. Say, maybe instead of 15 minutes, I devote 30 minutes. Maybe my quality of meditation gets deeper, gets better. So today is a day without much of commitment. Let me invest and see what happens. Suppose you devote a good length of time and you strike deeper states of meditation. Then you might have noticed you rise from meditation, asked you or you yourself think, probably I devoted 20 minutes to meditation. But when you look at the clock, it is 40, 45 minutes. Seems to have gone fast. You thought it is just 20 minutes, but your meditation was almost 45 minutes. So there is a not total timelessness, but it is something in the direction of timelessness. If such an occasion is there, then two things are to be noted. One is your meditation was very good quality, and also it gives rise to something called happiness. Because if your life is happy, the time moves faster. So these are the issues we have discussed last week in the context of absolute happiness. Now, these are the ideas we are discussing: transformation in mind, absolute happiness. Today, we are going to discuss new creative ideas and new insights. These are all more likely to happen if you are beyond mindfulness. So, that is where we are in our discussion these days. Today, we will look at the possibilities of if I have better quality of Patanjali meditation, does it help me gain new insights, new flash of knowledge, new creative ideas, what is called as cutting edge ideas or leading edge ideas? Can I become something who comes up with a new discovery, something like that? As a human being, we are very much concerned with knowledge and related phenomenon. So the title here is Humans Are the Most Powerful. Among millions and billions of species on this planet, we are the most powerful. Even a small boy, sometimes you might have seen, if not in reality, then in pictures, the boy sits on the head of an elephant and is able to control the movements of elephant. So a small boy, 10-year-old boy, but he has a human mind. And elephant is huge, yet he is making the elephant do what the boy wants to do. So that is the power of our human mind, and that's what we say knowledge is the greatest force. So knowledge is the strength of my mind. While bodily I may be weaker than so many animals, but because of my intellectual faculty that consists of, that is reservoir of knowledge and new wonderful ideas, we are able to rule over the entire earth and all of the species almost. So what we say is mind force is superior to the body force. Now the question is, can meditation help in gaining new discoveries? But first, let's look at quickly, glance through 3 slides under the title of discoveries, how human beings discover knowledge. I like this word discover. There is a implicit understanding that we don't create knowledge, we don't invent knowledge. Knowledge is there in the universe. The earth has been pulling all the objects towards its center of gravity. The gravitational force of the earth has always been there, but one day we discovered it. We did not invent it, we discovered it. So that is a very interesting term. So, under this title, we are saying how do we typically come up with new discoveries? How some human beings are able to come up with new ideas. Can it come just by merely scratching your head? Simply, the answer is no, because you get from your mind what you have put in your mind. Your mind is merely a reservoir of knowledge. Of course, through your mind, you do receive knowledge, but like you read a book, you listen to a lecture, so those words are being heard by your hearing organs, goes to the brain circuits and all that. Finally, it appears on your mind screen, what we call chitta. And then you make a sense out of those words. That becomes, once you have understood it, knowledge. From the writer of the book or from the lecturer, speaker who was speaking. He had that knowledge and he transmitted the knowledge to you. And now you have that knowledge too. That's it. And then you are storing that knowledge. So if you scratch your head, no new knowledge, ideas just like that. Nothing happens like that. So how do new creative leading edge ideas, how can one get it? That is the question. And that is what a number of people are interested in any activity. Whether you are in knowledge based activity, a teacher or a researcher, scientist, whatever it is, or even you are a field, you are a musician creating a new musical melody, or you are a poet writing a poetry, ideas, new creative ideas. Then how does one get it? That is what we are interested in. Let's look at the instances. Newton was relaxing in an apple orchard, lying there, appreciating the beauty of the nature, and suddenly he sees an apple falling. Every one of us has seen many things falling. They come from somewhere upward and they strike on the surface of the earth. Anything that goes up finally has to fall down. So nothing new. That event is not anyway very new. As he sees it, a flash comes in his mind. And that became the origin of the modern theory of gravitation. That flash came in his mind at a particular instant, just like that, almost from nowhere, I will say. There is a similar instance about Archimedes, much older in time scale. He had a task to find the purity level of gold in an ornament without baking it. How did he? He has been thinking hard, scratching his head for long in his library, in his all studies, etc. But he didn't get the answer. One fine morning, just to take bath, he is about to enter into a water pool. As he puts his one foot there, he notices as if there is a force pushing it upward. He is about to enter into the water, and of course, as we know, everything goes down, no problem. But as he is putting his foot down into the pool of water, he feels a force that is forcing the foot upward. That made him think there is something like an element of buoyancy force. This is in physics called buoyancy force, and now it is a cornerstone of a lot of fluid dynamics phenomenon. So he came up with this idea when he was relatively calm mind. So that is what is happening, as we will see in the next slide. In Patanjali's terminology, this is called intuitive knowledge. Intuitive knowledge is not coming to you through the senses. As I said, when I listen to somebody, I am listening to the spoken words of a speaker. They come to me through the brain, it goes to the mind, and then I decipher it. Yes, it means that. That is an important piece of knowledge for me. But intuitive knowledge is my mind is blank. It's like you can write only on a clean slate, only on a clean piece of paper can you put a diagram. So that is what is happening when our mind screen is blank. I am deep in Patanjali meditation. Somehow a new flash appears there. A flash occurs in an empty mind. So Newton was relatively, he might have been thinking a few moments, but while he is in that garden, he is in a very calm state of mind. Archimedes is in a calm state of mind, and it just takes a flash of moment that a flash appears on your mind screen, and you are able to capture it. So that becomes a kind of a new discovery when your mind is relatively blank. That's what is the, a lot of research has been done about, a lot of an extensive survey has been done among philosophers, scientists. The questions were asked, when do you get new ideas? So somebody says, when I am walking along the beach. Somebody says, when I am just sitting on a bench in wilderness, in a green area, in a garden, or I am traveling in a train and just looking out of the window. You are seemingly doing nothing, and mind is relatively calm, not disturbed or agitated. And then a flash comes. So if you are a regular practitioner of Patanjali meditation, you can look forward to this kind of situation. Let's look at how Patanjali meditation can help one gain new insights, new creative ideas, because they are likely to take birth in a meditative mind. When mind is deep in meditation, is relatively blank, maybe not exactly when you are in meditation. Maybe you have already risen from meditation, but you are still relatively calm state. And a few minutes here and there, suddenly you get a new idea. And you might have noticed it. This, I have seen it many times. In the evening, I am trying to recollect something somebody said or somebody's name, and I'm scratching my head. It doesn't, my memory doesn't help me. But next morning, I am in meditation, and then I rise from meditation, and now suddenly that thing is in my mind. What I was, my memory was failing. I'm quite bothered. I don't able, not able to recall something. Next morning, it's very easy. It just comes to me just like that. So this is very important. And I must point out, somebody may say, okay, if I am doing meditation, will I get new ideas like a scientist or a philosopher? The answer is you will get new ideas what you need most, most relevant to you. If you are a musician, the idea will come related to music. If you are a painter, a sculptor, poet, or whatever you are, or whatever any other trade, it will always come related to functions, what you need most. If mother's child is not well, if she is very disturbed, she has to consult others, to go to doctor, this and that. Then follow the doctor's advice. Very good. But beyond that, if you have a few quiet moments, and if you are a practitioner of Patanjali meditation, maybe a flash may come to you. That may tell you something, that maybe this thing went wrong with my child. That's why the child developed the fever. Maybe next time I will be careful. So you will gain some new thing, new insight, new knowledge, which is very much relevant to you. That is the additional thing we want to emphasize for Patanjali meditation practitioners. Let's look at the next slide. This is our another practice of meditation. Hopefully I can use it better. So maybe 15, 16 minutes, 18 minutes. So I think we can go up to 1927. About 18 minutes. Let's practice Patanjali meditation for the next few minutes. Let me go to the webinar room. So I have like to say again and again, step 1, body posture. Step 2, deep breathing. Step 3 is instruction to our mind. Step 4 is focusing the mind here. That's where we want mind to be doing nothing. And when it is absolute nothing, then I am absolute disconnect from my mind. I am in meditation. That is step 5. So step 4 on my left hand and step 5 is my right hand. Seemingly it is one step, but it is a wide gulf, as deep as ocean. So right at this point, on one spectrum, there can be a possibility that a thought wave wants to enter into your mind. So it's like your mind is your secretary, you are in your cave, but mind is knocking again, sending in a thought wave. Then we want to say, we want to again instruct our mind, don't disturb. Code word. This is one level of practitioner. The other level of practitioner on the right extreme is one who is absolute blank mind. But in between there are wide number of possibilities, including mindfulness. When one is focused on his breathing, which is relatively easy, you stay focused there, just observe all that is happening in your body movements, respiration process. But then that will be your dead end. You will spend 15-20 minutes just observing your breathing. Told you this is meditation. You are very happy that I have learned meditation. But I don't want you to end up on such a dead end. I don't suggest focus on breathing, because then to disconnect from breathing will become difficult. So we are saying, let your mind be hooked to this point between the two eyebrows, and then you walk deep into your cave. But then whole lot of dynamics possible. So that's what we are saying. You have to learn to be disconnect from distinct thoughts. And I am sure many of you have overcome that point. But now there can be an image coming. See your images. Your image is dynamic. The milestone. If you are persistent, then there will be another milestone. There is an image, but it is static image. Not there in the image. It's just like a blank sky, maybe dark color, then light color, whatever it is. Wherever you are in this journey, look at it, but in a detached manner as an observer. Not that you want to think about it and process that image. Okay, it is there. There is a good example. If there is a ball is thrown on the floor, it strikes, bounces, 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 and then calm down. Just imagine you are an observer, your mind is displaying an image, and after a while it will just calm down. As long as you don't activate it. If you don't touch that ball again, it will of its own, it will be becoming stationary in another corner of the room. Or if you throw a pebble on a water pond, it will create ripples. If you just go on looking at the ripples, it will calm down. So that's why we want to take not the dynamics of breathing, but some other phenomenon which is going to calm down. And then your extreme on the right side will be stretching again and again. That is what is the challenge, and I want your journey not to end at any point, let it go on. So some criteria is there, like I gave you the hint, but the actual time that has elapsed is more than what you would have imagined. So there is an element of timelessness that is a positive progress. You will also notice as if you are rising end of the meditation, but like your fingers are clasped. That's the way usually I sit in meditation. My two hands are usually put like this. And many times I notice I am done with meditation, but if I were to uncouple, delink these fingers, as if it requires enormous force. So, it just gives an idea that I was quite delinked from body and mind, that coming back to link to them, it is not that easy. So some such signs you will yourself notice as your meditation quality improves. So as long as things are improving, but the improvement may not be day to day, it will be week after week or months after month. So just be patient. But wherever you are gaining benefits of daily practice of meditation. Of course, there is one more sign that is also interesting. And in the context of absolute happiness, what we discussed last week, that is quite relevant. They say it is in Shvetashvata Upanishad. Deep in meditation, it may happen that there is a faint smile. So that is a sign of, just like a child is sleeping. You might have seen a small child sleeping, and sometimes the child smiles in his sleep. So that is also a possibility. Deep in meditation, there can be a smile on your face. Not that you are smiling, it just somehow appears from deep inside. Okay, let's do 3 cycles of deep breathing. Deep breathe out. The breath within. Breathe out. Hold the breath out. Breathe in. Hold it within. Hold the breath out. Breathe in. Hold it within. One more last cycle. Breathe out. Hold it out. Breathe in. Hold it within. Let's instruct our mind with the sound code word 5 times together. Om. 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 I think that brings us to the end of the session 4. Have a good time. See you next week in the session number 15.